Hi, I'm Ben Thambiah. I work in the Foreign Mission. I cover public affairs, policy, culture, and sports. I've been part of the queer community for many years, but my queer journey probably started, or my queer activism probably started when I joined Action for AIDS. I joined as a volunteer in May 1994. I've been part of the Action for AIDS family for those many years. After volunteering for a few years, I was also the executive director for 8 years. It was a very difficult, trying time. If those of you who understand the HIV journey in Singapore, very little government support, and when there was support, it came with too many rules and stuff, and it was very difficult. So for the longest time, Action for AIDS was sort of the big umbrella for a lot of the queer organizations. I mean, Pelangi Pride Center actually started off in Action for AIDS office. We worked with organizations like PLU. So those of you may not, know these names because they were from the 90s, right? But we've also been part of helping other non-queer organizations like the Patient Care Center at the Communicable Diseases Center, and this has always been our approach. We help those who need help, right? And so that has been part of what Action for AIDS does, and I'm very proud of the fact that I got to do it for about 8 years, and meeting with HIV activists, meeting and many of them were also queer activists. So, and a lot of the people that you'll probably see in these videos have also people who've either volunteered with Action for AIDS, who are part of Action for AIDS, and of the same similar journey. I'm not going to say it has shaped my identity, but I can say it has strengthened my identity, because within the South Asian culture, I mean, if you watch Tamil movies, I'm a Tamil speaking person, grew up in a Tamil speaking household, and a lot of Tamil movies, and especially the dance scenes, they're so campy. You just fall in love with it. I mean, MGR with full on makeup, Sivaji Ganesan's like so much makeup you could even see the neckline difference. And in a way, that feminism that kind of made it clear to me it was okay to be different. It was okay to be effeminate. It was okay to be soft and gentle, and still have a hero you can look at and go like, hey, that's my Makal. My family is Tamil, I've said that just now. But the other thing is, my family is also high church Anglican. So we were very strict Christians, very orthodox Christians. We were the sort of Christians that would actually fast during the month of Lent. And my mom was Catholic. She was also very strict. But one of the things I enjoyed about my family, was you could just be yourself. And I didn't really have the burden of needing to out myself, because how I am is how I am now, was always how I've always been. I was soft, I was gentle, I loved arranging flowers. I mean, in church I was the first and only Indian male florist, and so to me, the family identity strengthened what I felt inside, rather than requiring me to navigate something. I mean, like, my parents have met all my partners. My mom used to joke to her friends, all of Benny's friends are very nice boys. None of them flirt with girls. See? Because at the end of the day, they didn't really care. To them, this is Benny's friends, and that's all that mattered. That's a great question. I think finding your community is very, very important. Fortunately or unfortunately, Singapore is a very small country. We are a multiracial country, but life's reality also shows us that there's a lot of multi-racism in Singapore. And so you need to find your tribe in whatever space you can do so. I mean, for me, I think, and I'm glad I volunteered with Action for AIDS. I found a community there. I was the only brown person when I first started with Action for AIDS. Sorry, first South Asian, South Indian. There was one North Indian fella who's now in Australia. But then more people came along and more community was built. Now, for the largest Singapore community, unfortunately, you have to fight for your space in the sun. And I think you need to do that by showing up. I've said this before to other South Asians. If you are invited to an event, go, because it's very, very, and especially high level events, please go for them. If you are not present, you are absent, and when you are absent, you are forgotten. And over time, what will happen is you're not going to be invited because people will think you're not interested. And the circle of people that can be invited to events, to activities, to whatever it is, becomes smaller and smaller. So whatever you can do, attend events, present yourself. Recently, a few weeks ago, I had the privilege of meeting with Mr. Ho Kwon Ping, who is the founder of Banyan Trees, and had a really nice chat with him. And he talked about visibility. How visibility was very, very important. If you don't show up, nobody can see you. So do show up, find your community. And even if you don't find a community, create your own. Find one or two friends, and they will find one or two friends. And that's how you start your own community. I think for me, visibility is about showing up. It's about being present. And like I said, it is very tough because the South Asian queer community is an extremely small community. Now, what we also have to be very careful about is don't show up for the sake of showing up. Show up because you know you can contribute something. Show up that you know you can make a difference. Or just show up to learn something, right? I think that's very, very important. I personally feel, and this is something I've learned in my journey with Action for AIDS, is you need to listen. Listen to how people are talking. Listen to what is being said. Listen to who is saying what, and take notes. Keep them in your heart. Use them as knowledge and for yourself. And this is for those who are very career minded, right? Be great at what you do. When people look at you, they need to see a good worker. They need to see someone who's contributing, and not someone who's just making noise, right? And by default, the fact that you are a South Asian person and you're queer will be secondary, right? But the fact that you are contributing, the fact that you are building, will matter to them. So do that. I feel, I'm 57 years old. I'm tired of building. So I feel that the younger generation should pick up the mantle and move forward. I was very happy a couple of weeks ago. Not a couple of weeks ago, on the 1st of May, I happened to walk past Hong Lim Park, and they had a Labor Day protest. And I was so happy to actually see so many young South Asian men and women also involved in that particular activity. They may not have been queer, but they were making their presence felt. And I think that's very, very important, because we cannot say, oh, things are not going my way, but you have to get things done for things to go your way. I think things are generally getting better. Singapore is Singapore is a forward-looking, progressive country. I mean, the repeal of 377A in November 2022 was a step in the right direction. I mean, of course, following that, there was quite a fair bit of pushback from the Conservatives, and that is fine. And that's a normal reaction, and we cannot and should not be surprised by it. Now, as a South Asian queer person, I think we face a lot of challenges, and not just as a South Asian queer person, but I think it's just as a South Asian. I mean, the influx of new immigrants, for example, as much as we welcome them, they're also supplementing us, and that's something that we have to be cautious of. I've noticed, like in a lot of my friends' Facebook posts of parties they've attended, where it's South Asian queers, and just looking at the faces, the names, many of them are not Singaporean, and I think that is something we need to be cautious of, not afraid of, but to be aware that this is happening. Now, we were all once immigrants as well. Our forefathers were all immigrants, so we need to welcome them, but we also need to ensure that they are part of our community. They're the part of the Singaporean community and the Singaporean identity. So I think things are getting better, but I think things can be even better, and I feel that we should really gather ourselves and face the future. I mean, the future is good. We are going through a trying time. Trump is not good for us, but it is the reality that it is a trying time for everyone, and not just a queer community. So that's a really good question. I mean, as I would say to my nephews, who I'm very close to, first, know who you are, know your strengths, and find people that can align with your visions for yourself, that can align with your future, right? And don't smoke. And the thing is, I feel that a lot of young people are looking for heroes. I feel a lot of them are looking for superheroes, and they don't exist. What you need to do is to find yourself first, because a lot of your strength is inside of you, and use that. So that is the first thing I would say. The second thing is, and like what I said earlier, listen to what people are saying, listen to what people who build communities are saying, and take it from there. And the journey is not going to be easy. But the journey is quite fulfilling. And if you also make the journeying part of your everyday life, including helping others, helping your community, putting yourself out there. And I know it sounds like I'm repeating myself, but at the end of the day, a lot of these things come about because you are doing it as part of a holistic approach to how you want to live your life. I think for myself, what I would like to see, first, I would like to see a Singapore that's cohesive. I would like to see a Singapore that's post-racial. I would like to see a Singapore that's post-gender identity, post-sexual orientation. I think we need to come to a point where your race, your gender, your sexual identity, whatever it is, does not matter. But we are not there yet, right? But so until we are there, we still need to build the community. Now, for the South Asian queer community, it's a similar ask as well, right? We need to look. We need to really be forward-looking. We really need to build our own resilience, and we need to strengthen the identity we have. Even if it's a weak identity and you don't even believe in it, strengthen it. It will grow, it will strengthen, and it will progress. So for the one-liner, I'm going to say, but I'm Indian, so cannot be one line. build your community. I think that's the most important thing, and help your community. Don't just complain that things are not happening. Put yourself out there, do something.